Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Board of Selectmen meeting for Tuesday, May 14th, 2013. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In accordance with Mass General Law, I have to announce that this meeting is being recorded by the Board of Selectmen's office and also by East Long Meadow Cable, and I have to ask if anyone else is recording. Seeing none, we can move on. Tonight is a public forum, and we have one person signed up for the public forum, Mr. Turner. If you could come forward. How are you?
Thank you.
Mr. Turner, hello.
Bronski. Okay, let me just pass those out.
Sure.
Thank you.
Pass those out. Do I need to put this anyplace?
To make sure that you're ready.
Just tip it down towards you. There you go. That's good. Thanks.
Okay. So we've got here, if you want to explain what you've given us.
Okay, and I was in 4 months ago. It's self-explanatory. I thought that I gave him some issues to address because he totally blew me off and wouldn't answer a phone call or a note or anything. Kind of familiar territory. So I came to a meeting and I gave him a list, and I was assured that it would be, addressed in one way or the other. And I take that road every single day, 7 days a week. So I'm not, running around looking for places. I'm sure there are dozens and dozens and dozens more places in town that are not in compliance with our zoning laws.
Okay.
And they just haven't been addressed, period. Okay. And the last time I was in, I was told that they were being fined, which means that the town's making a lot of money because it's probably been about 50 days since he started his fines, and at $3,300 a day, that's $15,000, and $100 a day, that would be another $5,000. So I would assume that the town, since that's what I was told in public meeting by Mr. Hellier, that the town's coffers should have another $20,000 in it.
Well, what I will do, obviously, we had since then we had a change in the board, and obviously the gentleman who was helping you is no longer with us, so I will have to follow up with Mr. Hellier on these. Now, these were all the violations that you had
I gave to him.
You'd put in writing and in his
writing.
office. Okay.
Right here in a meeting.
All right. I will.
You were here.
Yeah, I will get to him tomorrow and see where he stands on all of these.
Because I would assume that if he said he was fining people and they haven't finished, that they're still paying fines.
Yeah, it also depends on when he contacted them as to when the fine started and what the process is, so.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I'd kind of like to know that.
Okay, well, like I said,
it's,
I don't know off the top of my head, so I'll be happy to talk to him tomorrow and find out where he stands on all of these.
and the others are, it's just,
These, the three on the other list?
yeah,
Okay.
there's one right around the corner from my house. He's got big truck and, trailers and the equipment and everything else. And he just parks it in his driveway.
Okay.
Would you write your phone number down on his for me as a
I'm in the book.
Yeah, but nobody gets white pages anymore. When you get your phone book, it's all
Yeah,
you
but
get
mine
to
is
do.
10 years old, and I've been in
Well,
town
no,
for
but when you-
44 years, so it's just
That's
safe.
true. Well, I know, well, yeah, I
I'll
know,
commit it
but-
to memory, but if you'll put it down there for me, I'd greatly appreciate it.
Go.
Thank you, sir.
Go.
I have your number.
Okay.
Okay.
I certainly will use it.
Alrighty, so yeah, we'll follow up on this tomorrow, and either one of us will get back to you with the status of these, and we'll go from there.
Okay, I
One
got a
of us
question.
or all three of us.
Oh, yeah, okay.
There's a boat about less than 300 yards from here.
From
That's
here?
on Maple Street.
There's a letter that has already been written to the owner of the
Okay.
property. I don't know what's happening since then, but I know that it's right across from my office.
Yeah, I have no idea
I-
where your office is. Mr. Ricci.
Well, I know, well, no, I'm just telling you, 65 Maple, it's a building right past the Dunkin' Donuts, so I was one of the first people to see him parking it there, which was a thrill, so.
You know, it's kind of like at Christmas time when there was a trailer out in front of the town hall selling wood.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it took a month to get that out of there.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
wondering why.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a business, if you get a business permit,
Mm-hmm.
you can't sell cars if you have a restaurant permit, can you?
I don't believe so, but I think you may be able, I don't want to say anything because I'm not sure. I mean, I know, I could sell one car out of my yard, but I don't know about a commercial business, I don't know about
Yeah.
I don't know, do you know, Ralph? If you have I've got an accounting practice, could I sell a car in front of my accounting practice?
There's a limited number.
Okay. How about an obnoxious blue boat with the skull and crossbones on it?
Oh, right,
Oh,
okay.
I saw that.
And-
That's what we're talking about,
and-
yeah.
And can you
I did
do
see
it one after another, after another, after another?
That I don't believe you can.
And can you do it from your house?
I
From your
believe you
home?
can sell one car from your house.
At one after another, after another?
No, I'm saying, I believe one, yeah.
What?
Because eventually, and I'm just thinking of it from an accounting standpoint, eventually you sell X number of cars, you're a business. You're no longer,
Yeah.
you're no longer an individual selling his car that he wants to
Okay.
get rid of, your business, so.
Another question, because I am not familiar with any changes in the laws. If you work and you have a truck with lettering all over the truck, are you supposed to park that in your driveway?
You mean like if you, say you work for a construction company and you bring it
Yeah.
home? It's another one you might be able to answer better than me.
Because it used to be no,
Okay,
and I'm not aware that law has been changed.
okay. Do you know offhand, Ralph?
Zoning bylaw, section 3.09 states that you're allowed one commercial vehicle.
Right, at a certain
And it must
size.
be less than 1 ton in rated capacity, and it has to be either garaged or screened from view.
Okay.
Okay, so there's tons of those all over
Yeah,
the place.
okay.
I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, like, when I came in here, the first time I came in here, and you were not here, Angela, but you two were here, and I said, this town is looking uglier and uglier all the time. And you nodded your head in agreement,
And then they put the boat
and
across
you
my-
nodded your head. No, that was a
No,
while ago.
I know, but I'm just
okay?
saying that doesn't help
But
matters.
you drive up and down the street, just the streets you go down every day, and it's going to be ugly, because there are so many people that it's all about me. In fact, I had somebody call me about an issue they had, because they called here, and no one answered her. No one gave her a solution. I guess her neighbor, I haven't called her back yet. Her neighbor emptied a trailer was full of old furniture and just left it on the lawn. Okay? Now that would attract vermin, so that would seem to be a public health issue.
And that would be me.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
But she called me. I don't know why she called me. I don't know, maybe she tried to call the gentleman who works here, who never gets back to me.
You talking about the health inspector or the, no? Okay.
Okay, no, I was just wondering
A little
those things,
slow on the
but, you know, it's kind of like, I had a talk with the chief about a month or so ago. Are you
Which
familiar
chief?
with that? Police chief.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Okay, and I said, Christmas, you know, we got a sidewalk. Finally, they built a sidewalk in town that goes from Maple Shade School out to Meadowbrook School. It's used every day by hundreds and hundreds of people. That sidewalk was first supposed to have been built 40 years ago, okay? It was on in a town meeting, it passed town meeting, they never built it. My oldest daughter was hit walking in the grass along Maple Shade Avenue once, okay? She wasn't hurt badly, she was bruised.
Thankfully, she wasn't.
Still.
But that's the first public improvement that I've seen in the town in years. I mean, we've got the bike path to nowhere, but we've got a wonderful sidewalk. And I talked to the chief. I said, what do we have to do to get people to plow their sidewalks? And the chief said he doesn't do that unless he's instructed to by you, because there is a fine for that.
Yes, there is. You have to take
Okay,
care of your own property.
but they don't do it unless he's instructed for them to do that. Is there a reason for that? That's public safety. That's why I went to him.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they.
And he
why
told
that-
me that he was gonna be meeting with somebody, maybe all three of you, or two of you were.
Yeah. He said, well, he hasn't yet, and I know he's in Washington DC this week, so
Okay.
when he comes back, I'll address that with him.
It's kinda like all the trucks. that are parked from, landscapers, and they got huge trucks. We all know that. They're, 35 feet long, and they're at least 10 feet wide, and they park a foot or so from the street. They're supposed to park inside a foot. Okay, no, I said supposed to, and I've called before, and I've been stopped and said, hey, guy, do you think you can move your truck over? I've almost been killed because they park on both sides of the street. Some kid's gonna get killed, okay?
Yep.
Something for public safety has to be done with all these vehicles that are parking on the street. I mean, I had a gentleman in my home for almost 2 weeks doing work. He parked his truck in my driveway. He didn't park it on the street
Right.
where people were gonna be.
Well, I
But
saw
public
this-
safety, I mean, what do we do? Wait until someone gets killed?
I saw
Because
the
these
same-
guys are parking way out. Somebody from the police department might come by and say, hey, listen, move it over. But they shouldn't have to say move it over. If you started to fine them, then
Yeah.
everybody would park properly.
Right.
But it's kind of like an empty threat, and they know
Yeah.
it.
And that's tough to enforce because you have to be there when they're there.
But, yes, I know you do, but I've seen the police drive.
Yeah. I mean, I had the same instance this morning. I was the same thing with a truck from one of the landscaping companies, and it was about that far away from the curb, and it really was jutting out in the street.
And then they put a cone out there. Side streets are only 22 feet wide. 12 and 12 is 24, so two of those trucks block the entire road. And some kid's gonna ride his bike around there and he's gonna get whacked. And times have changed. This isn't 30 years ago where everybody mowed their own lawn. This is when people, and people drive faster now.
Yep.
And kids are walking to and from school when there's snow on it. That's a public safety issue. And I'd like to see that perhaps those were addressed. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
We'll get back to you. Thank you.
Okay, our next item, might be in here, are the
Warrant article?
warrant articles, and I'm trying to see if I can, there they are. Yeah, yeah, thank you. We have, I believe, 13 warrant articles, of
13,
which I believe 12 we're gonna actually have some sort of action taken on. Why don't we go right down them? Article 4, I'll be happy to take. Article 5, I can take that also if you'd like. It's up to you guys. Just, chime in anytime to.
Okay.
And the next one is Article 7.
I'll take 7.
Okay. Number 8.
I'll take one.
Okay. Number 9. These are all basically the same, so you do
Right.
one, it's more or less redundant. I can take that if you want.
Number 9.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take number 9.
Okay.
Number 10 is another revolving
Yeah,
fund.
I'll take that one.
Okay. And let's see, where are we? Number
12.
12, I think
I
Angela
want-
wants.
Yeah.
Take the easy one, Angela.
That's right.
I'll take 14.
Being a freshman.
Paul, you're taking 14?
Yes. 15 is the one I'm not.
But I'll take it and
Oh.
take it off.
Okay. Let's see.
I can take Auburn Street if you'd like.
Yeah, it's up to you.
It's up-
You know,
Were you going to take it?
I would have if you
Good,
didn't.
go ahead.
Okay. One of you guys can take 22 if you like.
Deb?
Okay.
23 is. Angela, do you want to take
Oh,
that?
sure.
Okay. And I assume you want to take 24?
I would love 24.
Okay. And that is it.
Look how easy that was.
Wonderful. The next item is Independence Day Parade. March or vehicle?
I offered to wash my car. It's a convertible. We could, I'm happy to march, so I would,
I think
either way.
I'd be happy to march also. However, having a vehicle might give other benefits, like water. We could put water in it. Some things might come up, and it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
True. That's fine. Whatever, I like walking better than driving.
I prefer to walk too.
Okay.
Then let's
But-
walk.
But
Okay.
I need to have a vehicle just in case. They're just in case.
There's extenuating circumstances.
Exactly.
Can we pull a wagon? No. It's got 4 wheels. I'm
Does
kidding.
anyone have a Segway or something we could
I'm
borrow?
leaving that alone. She's
Mr. Chairman, on the board's behalf, we'll let the parade committee know that the selectmen intend to have a vehicle there. And
Okay, if we
then
don't,
if
then,
there's a
yeah.
last minute change, then that'll be the way it goes.
Okay.
So I will wash my car.
Thank
Okay.
you.
At the annual washing.
It's the annual washing.
The
By the
next,
way, excuse me, what color is your car?
It's black,
Black.
convertible, Sebring.
Convertible?
Very nice.
Sebring? Okay.
of course, she could get her
You
hands
want
on
a
a
color
Corvette.
I might
No.
get my hands on a red Corvette if I.
Well, you
if
know.
I ask really nice.
Okay.
But in that case, you would have to drive it, Paul. It's not an automatic.
Have your son drive it. Anyway, item 6 is Charter Communications Annual Financial Report. I assume this is just notification, Nick. Item 7, Maya, which is our insurance carrier, we're happy to announce has given us an additional participation credit of $14,466 on the property and casualty side and $7,307 on the workers' comp side. So that's a
Excellent.
good thing. Let's see, budget. We've got reserve fund transfers. I know I'm meeting with the appropriations tomorrow night, so should we hold off on this until?
That was really for you to report to the board about the meeting on Thursday. I believe the meeting's on Thursday night, isn't it?
It's this Thursday, yeah.
Thursday.
I'll be going to it in regard to some reserve fund transfers, so.
Okay.
And then the item B.
Council.
Okay, now that's a verbal. What's that in regard to, Nick?
This is, I should have more information, or maybe you'll get more information at the meeting, but recall that a revolving fund, when the town votes to establish that, or to authorize the Board of Selectmen to establish a revolving fund, there is a cap that is associated with the expenditure out of that fund for the given time period.
Mhm.
So last year, annual town meeting authorized the board to establish a council on aging revolving fund for an amount not to exceed $100,000. The fund for this year is close to that level already. Now, that doesn't mean that there's an issue necessarily with revenues. In fact, there doesn't appear to be whatsoever at this time. But what it is because of the increased transportation service, mostly, is that the capped amount is insufficient. So
Okay.
the question before the board will be to whether or not to vote. And my understanding is the mechanism to increase the cap on that would be for the Board of Selectmen to vote on that and vote on a number. And I don't have a number to present for the board
Okay.
this evening. But then it would also need to be, from what I recall, also voted for approval by the Appropriations Committee. And again, that's to increase the cap.
Right,
And
right.
really because of the amount of revenue generation and services that have been provided with the new transportation.
Okay, now, in light of the fact that I'm meeting with appropriations Thursday, I don't know when when we'll have a figure, but is this something that, because we meet at 6 o'clock before the town meeting, and because appropriations meets in the other room before the meeting, is this something we could vote on at at our 6 o'clock meeting Monday, and then bring it to them before the meeting and have them approve it?
That is a possibility, or it could be that the board, even so, the board possibly could wait, if need be, until the 28th to take that vote. But I would suggest that this
be part of the discussion. I haven't seen the agenda for Thursday night, but to make sure that
Okay.
this is part of
Okay.
that discussion, and then decide what the timing of it needs to be. It's my understanding it needs to be within the next few weeks anyway, that
Okay.
the cap would need to be
Okay.
considered.
Great.
You answered my question. You said within the next 2 weeks. It needs to be done in the next.
That's my understanding.
Okay, the next item is an HR grant update.
Want to let,
I believe that has to do with, was that Chris Dunphy?
correct. So I sent an email out on the board's behalf regarding this HR. Recall that Pioneer Valley Planning Commission has had a recent change in personnel who would have been otherwise leading this for us. But Mr. Mazik sent back a response saying that this Mr. Dunphy, you recall,
He's
will
come in, yeah,
he worked with the grant for the CD, Community Development Block Grant,
right, that we were on with Agawam?
correct?
Yes, okay.
Which
Oh, okay.
we should be hearing about in maybe, I think, a few months anyway, yeah.
Okay.
But he will be apparently the point person, and he has not, we've not made any contact because he's away.
Okay, thanks. The next item, Recreation Department. The first thing is the rec assistant. I know Colin, an ad went out in the paper and
Yep.
we had 14 applicants. And he's whittled it down to 3.
I spoke with Colin, I guess the ones he gave us were in order. The first one was the first one.
Okay, in order, okay.
Mhm.
What I might suggest is, because I unfortunately didn't have a chance to really review their
Because we got these,
information.
what, 2 meetings ago?
Which ones?
We got these two
Did we?
2 meetings ago.
Yeah, I was away, and
Mhm.
so, I might suggest we can review them and take a vote on Monday at the meeting. That works
That's
with-
fine with me.
Okay.
I
Okay,
tend to agree with your philosophy in that if they're making a recommendation for who they'd like to work with, they know best who.
that's right, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like to
that's-
work
I-
with and-
yep.
Exactly. He was very clear in his
I
letter.
don't like to,
So Monday is fine, I'm sure,
I don't like to
soon enough.
reinvent the wheel, so to speak.
Nope.
Mhm.
No. We have rec commission vacancies. I'm trying to find I know it was in here. He had a few,
Requests.
suggestions, if you will, for,
Mhm.
and I can't seem to find them.
Yeah.
But once again, Nick, do you have the list of those,
I have-
Do, I believe they're in your hard copies as well. But-
Right here.
Right.
oh, good, all right.
Well, it's always nice to have people stepping up
Yes,
for vacancies that are on town.
it's a difficult thing sometimes.
It is sometimes, but it's nice to see people stepping up
Mhm.
That's
to fill these vacancies.
Okay,
one of these gentlemen really,
there were 3 gentlemen that the rec commission has recommended to join the commission for the vacated 3 spots.
Mhm.
They are Thomas Kennedy, Charles Gray, and Dan Kelly. Do we have to vote to approve them individually, or can we approve them as a group?
That's the pleasure of the board.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion, and obviously if there's any questions, you can bring it up now. I'd like to make a motion to approve the 3 candidates that have been recommended for the rec commission to fill the 3 vacancies.
so moved.
Is there a second?
Second?
Any discussion?
No.
Okay. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, very good, thank you. All right, Nick, a municipal space study update.
So late edition because I had a meeting just this morning, so I just wanted to give the board a preview, I guess, of what is likely to come. Recall the Board of Selectmen had appointed the IT director to lead a working group with regards to the municipal space study, and ultimately it did focus on different plans for town hall space. What the group will be sending to the board is a recommendation, and if you care to see it, I believe it'll be option 3, phase 1, to the board. And from there, ask the board to have discussion, then decide how to go forward, consider whether or not, and, what committees to send this to for their feedback and so forth. But that should be coming maybe as soon as for the meeting on Monday.
Okay,
Yep.
Great.
okay.
Moving forward.
Great. Sounds good. New business, Memorial Day. There's a recommendation from the ITAM Vets and American Legion to appoint members for the Memorial Day Committee. And once again, certainly a lot of them are familiar names. There's a few new ones in there. I see somehow they got our former fire chief into the Legion group. But I'd like to make a, do we have to move on this?
The board has voted on to approve the committee in the past.
Okay. I'd like to make is there a motion to approve the 2013 Memorial Day Committee for the American Legion Post 293?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is there a motion to accept the Memorial Day Committee for the ITM Vets Post 64?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Sorry.
Any discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Great. And you folks get to take part in the Memorial Day?
I would love to.
Okay.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Do the board members know whether or not they'll be available? Or could you let us know so that we can RSVP?
Okay.
I'll be there.
Okay?
Yep,
Wait a minute.
I need to check my calendar.
okay.
You know, I apologize. That is the kickoff for my daughter's Race for Cancer, where she's riding a bike from Baltimore to San Francisco, California. So unfortunately, I won't be in Baltimore, but I really do believe in the cause, and if it were anything else, I would be there.
Okay.
Pass that along.
Please do.
I should be able to be there. I just have to check one more of my calendar.
Yeah, it's a Monday.
Yep.
Obviously.
I will let you know.
Let me know when you
Yep.
move.
I'll send you
Okay,
an
great.
email.
We have a request from St. Mark's Episcopal Church for a one-day liquor license, beer and wine, on Saturday, June 15th, 2013, from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Their insurance is on file. Is there a motion to grant the license?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And also, is there a motion to grant an entertainment license in the Great Hall at St. Mark's Episcopal Church for the same day?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we have a citation. We have a Boy Scout, Eagle Scout, Hans Fett. The celebration is on May 19th at St. Paul Lutheran Church. We have a citation for us to sign in there, and it's a great achievement.
It is.
To make it that far in the Scouts, and we commend him on his dedication and perseverance, actually. Next item, Planning Board. Pioneer Valley Planning Commission appointments. There's notification of a reappointment of George Kingston as Commissioner to the PVPC as representative of the Planning Board. And also, there's a request. Now, do we do the nominating?
Yes, there's a request for that nomination.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a request for the nomination of Ralph Page as the alternate commissioner to the PVPC as representative of the Planning Board. Is there a motion to accept Mr. Page for this position?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
Yes. I just have a question as to whether there was a previous, there's a previous representative. How long are these appointments for? And has the previous representative, well, answer that first question first.
It's my understanding that they're for annual basis.
They're an annual basis. Okay, then I'm all set. I don't need to ask the
Okay.
second question.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I just wanted to make sure he got notified, that's all.
Next item is conference attendance recommendations, Nick?
Oh, that's me.
Oh, okay.
As I was going through the warrants, I was noticing that there was several conferences that our employees are participating in. And I just thought it might be a good idea, and I wanted to know what your thoughts were. If we were, expending this amount of money, perhaps they could come back and give a feedback to our community, to us and the community as to what they went for and what they obtained from it and how our town benefits from it. Because
It's a great idea.
It's a very
I
good
just
idea.
really think that needs to
Okay,
happen.
it's a very good idea.
And that's,
We will,
I don't know how you would facilitate it. Do we ask them? I just think if they're signing up, they should know that they would be expected to come back and feedback.
Okay.
Great idea.
on it. It's just my feeling.
Mr. Chairman, just to that question, maybe it could be that over time, your department heads do filter through different
Yep.
meetings, and as they come through, perhaps that would just
Becomes
be
part of the
added,
report.
part of the
that's
agenda.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, unless there's a compelling reason that the board wants them in specifically for that,
Right.
that may be a way to go about doing it.
Okay.
So to have the department heads come in and give the,
Well, they're the ones who mostly go to these.
Well,
From
from what I'm seeing.
okay.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll work out the rest of it
Yeah,
a
we'll
little
work
bit
out the
later, right?
details, 'cause-
Okay, that's fine.
Next is the Board of Health.
Okay. It is with regret that we do have the resignation of our health agent, Mr. Fred Knoll. After years of service to us, he has given his resignation, which leaves us, do we have to accept his resignation? Do we
With
have to vote on
regrets.
that?
the board would.
Would
yes.
vote, okay, so with that vacancy, I just wanted to present a timeline, because we do need to fill it, because there are so many things that health agent would do. We did run an ad, because we had such a long period in between the time that we're meeting. Unfortunately, we didn't really get a positive response to that. So the plan is to run another ad on Sunday, the 26th, and then have the deadline for June 3rd for the applications. It's a tight timeline, I do realize that, but it has to be. On the 4th, Nick and I would meet with regards to the applications that we do receive. The 6th, we would interview, and yes, that is a tight turnaround, but in the ad, it would say that you needed to be, in the ad or in the job description, it would say that you needed to be available to interview on the 6th, so they would know right up front. On the 11th, on our meeting on the 11th, we would present the top 3 to 4 candidates. I guess that's up to you, how many candidates you would like to
That's
have
fair.
come before you.
Actually, it's up to you. It's the health
Well,
department.
I'm
So
asking for your, I'm asking for your input.
Okay.
Because it's a we thing.
Just say, yeah.
Okay, so, whether you want 2 to 3 or 3 to 4,
We'll see how many responses we get
how many
first, and we'll
responses
go
we
from
get,
there.
okay. I'm, in the interim, I am asking for your advice, on how we should go about making sure that we have coverage. We do have a meeting on this Friday with Mass DPH to discuss coverage, but if you have any other ideas, I know that I don't have the expertise in going to a shop and saying whether or not they're meeting the health standards.
Right.
And I don't know if either of you are. I know we have
No.
multiple talents, but I don't know if that's in
No.
either of your repertoires.
No, and I know we have, I mean, what is a Title V issue right now, Nick? That's pending, so we need someone with definitely more qualifications than, and one thing I thought of, because Nick had mentioned that to me, is, and I don't know if we can do it for a short period of time, is much as we had set up a memo of understanding with the town of Hamden for our IT department when they had lost their
Right.
IT person, so they could effectively rent our people, for lack of a more intelligent way of putting it. And I was wondering if there's a community in the area, maybe even Long Meadow, Wilbraham, or somebody who has a health agent, who we could work out a temporary agreement in that regard to, so we could
Sure.
actually,
We'll-
share their services, and at least they'll cover us until we find somebody
Have
permanent.
no problem checking with them, but like I said, we do have that meeting on Friday
Yep,
with
okay.
Mass
Yeah, they may have
DPH.
better
They may have,
ideas. Yeah.
And just so that you're aware, the advertising this time is gonna be in-house. It'll be the Sunday paper and the MMA.
Okay.
So that we can we're reaching a broader place. We just put out a little one before because we felt a little bit of the heat. Well, Nick made me feel a little bit of the heat. And so, this time we're gonna be more intentional with it. And I think
Okay.
we need to, I know you received a job description, which we will, Nick and I will work on, and we'll present it to you, and hopefully that will be done, you'll get it before the week of the 20th, to be approved on the 28th. I think we should have due diligence in making sure that everything that we need is, and this is an opportune time to make sure that that job description is tight and to confer with some other people and just make sure we get a lot of information.
Okay, great.
And that's it.
Actually, you do have, there were a couple items on the flip side of that.
On the flip side.
Excuse me, Madam Chairman,
Yes.
with regards to the matters at hand, could I ask for the board whether or not you would consider taking a few votes here? First, with the resignation of Mr. Kowal,
Okay.
then for approval of of the timeline that you have presented for the hiring process, and then for actually those would be the only two.
Those are the
And
two.
then the only
So
other
the
note-
acceptance of Mr. Cowell's resignation and then the timeline that was, okay.
That's correct. And then one other note, just a late change was because of the meeting maybe on Thursday morning instead.
Oh,
Right.
oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I did say, he did give me a note right at the beginning of this meeting, saying that the meeting is with the DPH will be not on Friday. It's going to be on
Okay.
Thursday morning.
Okay.
So we're going to make it happen. I'm going to change some things around because it is an urgency. So we're going to make sure we
Okay.
meet that.
Okay.
So can I have a motion to accept Fred Cowell's resignation?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and we can send a note for good service to him. I think that's, we've done that in the past.
Yeah.
And he's been very faithful to us. Also, can I hear a motion to accept the timeline that has been outlined earlier in this conversation?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion
Great.
carries. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, I've got this, I don't know if you got that, but see those two right on the bottom?
No, I didn't get that one. So, when it's,
Okay, one of them Nick, is just the.
is that something we have to do tonight?
I don't believe so.
Can that go to the next meeting, those
What
two?
numbers are those?
17 and 18.
Nick, if you look at those, can we put those off till Monday?
Yes. And
Okay.
so,
Okay.
no,
That's fine.
That would be great. Thank you.
Okay. Next, we have correspondence. We have a letter from the Hampshire Council on Governments regarding programs and services for taxpayers and municipalities. Now, before we get to town council, because he's not here, and what'd you say, we don't expect him till he was stuck in traffic in Boston?
Yeah, he may not be here for another hour.
Okay. Well, we'll do meetings, invitations, and reminders very slowly, and then we'll, and then what we'll do is, we may have some items that we can go over with Attorney Talbot, either, be they open or executive, and then we'll just come back and,
In fact, they would probably, Mr. Chairman, they'd probably all be executive and
All of them
not
are
necessarily require attorney, town council.
oh, true, okay.
Right.
All right. Very good. Okay, meetings, invitations, and reminders. There's a poll location hearings Thursday, May 16th, 2013. Verizon, 9 a.m. for Prospect Street at Rufino Road, 9:10 a.m. for Prospect Street, and 9:20 a.m. for Albano Drive. Next Board of Selectmen's meeting prior to the annual town meeting is Monday, May 20th at 6 p.m. at the high school front conference room. The annual town meeting is Monday, May 20th at 7 p.m. in the East Long Meadow High School auditorium. The Board of Selectmen are meeting Tuesday, May 28th, 2013, 6 p.m. in the Town Hall hearing room. DEP, Mass Electric Vehicle Incentive Program Workshop, Thursday, May 30th, 2013, at the Mass DEP Western Region, Springfield, 436 Dwight Street, Springfield, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. East Long Meadow High School's 52nd graduation exercise is Sunday, June 2nd, beginning at 2 p.m., and I believe we're all invited.
I did get invited.
Okay.
I'll be away again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then there's an invitation from the Pioneer Valley Planning Commission, 51st Annual Meeting, Thursday, June 13th, 2013, 6 p.m. at the Garden House at Look Park, 300 North Main Street, Florence.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman. Do you want the office to RSVP? Do you know or could you also take a look at your calendars and let me know whether or not?
May I ask, is there a role on June 2nd? Or we just attend?
We sit.
We sit?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a very nice ceremony.
No, I was very happy when my son participated in it.
Yes, I know, weren't we all with ours? But,
There was a
okay.
time when the Board of Selectmen did participate, but
Was
I
there?
guess
Well,
that's not gonna happen.
no.
I think it should be looked at in the future, though.
There
Just a
was-
tidbit.
There was a time when the Board of Selectmen wore tuxedos in the parade, too, so that's...
We could do that.
So anyway, why don't we invite Mr. Talbot up? And then we'll discuss,
Item 21, I think, would be an open.
okay. Okay, yes, okay, I'm sorry, before we get to you. Item 21, Selectman Bronski, would you like to cover that? That is-
Yes, I'm very excited. I'm sure everyone knows that we had a meeting with the planning board, and they did approve the site plan, and everything is in order. Robin sent me the draft of the paperwork that needs to precede that vote, and she's fixing a few things up and having it looked at, and then I guess we'll be asking all of the folks involved, DPW and those, to begin their work. We had a nice meeting out on the property today with Mr. Mackey to go over some of the things that are going to be going on, and we do have a memorandum of understanding with the folks from the Friends of the Brown. I think that's going to happen in executive session. We have a draft and some language that we need to
I saw
talk
it, yeah,
about.
yeah.
So I think that is our next step, is to get that memorandum of understanding, and I'd like to put that to rest this evening so that we can move forward to get everything in order. But everything is great. It's a great group of folks working together, and it's very exciting.
Are we happy so far? Okay.
Yeah, we're happy.
Okay.
Are we happy? We're happy.
Okay.
Happy?
Just,
They're never happy.
Planning board good?
Madam, just have a question for you. I know with regards to the water supply, that there was gonna be a line laid. Somebody had made the recommendation that since it's gonna be temporary right now, perhaps you can tap, and I don't know the logistics of it, if you could tap from the fire hydrant that's on there, and that way it would just be a temporary situation as opposed to laying all the lines now?
I'm going to defer to DPW and the
Okay.
experts who put the plans together to.
Okay.
I
just wonder if-
in belief that they probably have the best.
Yeah, but I just wonder if they
I
even
could
thought
put the
about
hose
that,
up.
that
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
Just pass it by them, see
Nope.
what they say.
Okay,
Work.
wonderful. Now, the next items, if Attorney Talbot could come up. Don't look surprised. Well, I figure,
Oh, I know it.
you'll be playing the part of Jim Donahue. No.
Well, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
I'd suggest that if the board would table item 23, then it
Yes.
looks that the others would be perhaps executive session items.
And we're also tabling 26, so,
We are?
Yes, we are.
yes.
Can I ask one?
Something, you have it in your hard copy.
Yeah, there's a hard copy in there. Okay. So it appears 22, 24, and 25 are all executive.
Yes.
24 and 25 would be executive.
And that's all we have left on our agenda, I believe, right?
Yes.
Right, Mr. Chairman,
Oh, okay.
26 is
Tabled.
is tabled with, it really is two items, two separate.
Oh, okay.
Completely.
Well, we can discuss it. It is executive, though.
Correct.
So we can discuss it. in
Both
executive, so-
would be,
A and B.
right, so.
Yeah, okay.
It would be,
Okay. Let's see. I'd like to make a motion to go into executive, or is there a motion to go into executive session to discuss strategy and preparation for collective bargaining negotiations with union personnel, because to discuss those matters in open session may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining position of the town, and to discuss matters relative to an individual's right to privacy under General Law 214-1B, and move to go into executive session to discuss strategy with respect to litigation matters, because to discuss these matters in an open meeting may have a detrimental effect in the litigation process of the town. To return to the open session only to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Selectman Thorpe?
Yes.
Selectman Bronski?
Yes.
Selectman Federici, yes.